When I was first learning math, my parents bought me a yellow little professor calculator that I must have spent hundreds of hours using and practicing basic arithmetic skills. Turns out over 1 million little professor units were sold in 1977. I guess I wasn't the only one who had one. Ever since then, I've been intrigued by numbers. Soon it became baseball statistics, then populations of cities and countries, and even gematria, which is the Jewish tradition's way of assigning numerical value to Hebrew letters and words. During this pandemic, we have been confronted with numbers on a daily basis. How many positive cases are there? How many people have died? How many are hospitalized? How many tests have been performed? It is easy to get obsessed with the numbers, so much so that we often forget that behind each number is a human being. This week, we begin the book of Bamidbar, which in English is called Numbers. The reason why Bamidbar is called Numbers is because the opening chapter begins with the counting and recording of the census. In our tradition, we are not supposed to assign a number to a person, which is why when we count for a minyan, for instance, many will choose a 10-word sentence and assign each person a different word rather than a specific number. After all, human beings deserve more respect than just assigning a number. That is why when taking the census, the descendants are listed specifically by name according to their tribe. It is also the reason why we list the names of the yahrzeits of our loved ones each and every week in the synagogue. This weekend, as you know, is Memorial Day. And for many, Memorial Day has become an excuse for family gatherings, barbecues, picnics, swimming, and so on. But the idea of Memorial Day is to remember and pay tribute to the more than 1.2 million veterans who died while serving our country, as well as the more than 33 million veterans who died after completing their military service. However, the numbers can become almost meaningless without a name to the number, or without a story to tell. I am reminded of the poet Zelda's brilliant poem, L'chol ish yesh shem, Every Person Has a Name. Every person has a name given to her by God and given to her by her father and mother. Every person has a name given to him by the constellation of stars and given to him by his neighbors. Every person has a name given to her by her celebrations and given to her by her work. Every person has a name given to him by the seasons of the year and given to him by his blindness. L'chol ish yesh shem. Every person has a name given to her by the sea and given to her by her death. This Shabbat and Memorial Day weekend, when family get-togethers will be smaller or on hold, let us put down our little professors and talk about the important people in our lives, and let's tell their stories. Shabbat Shalom.